This is the backside of the Red Fort, and in fact, since yesterday we have been reporting from this very spot, and I can tell you one thing: the water levels have only increased at this very spot. One very example of increased water levels, if we compared to the reports we have done from yesterday, that very bus you see in the visual, the police bus yesterday, it was half submerged underwater, and now it has been almost completely submerged underwater. So you can only imagine the kind of water levels which have increased over this point. This is the ring road basically, which actually goes towards the famous Margatwale Hanuman Mandir, and in fact this is the very road which has witnessed increased levels of water. So yesterday we were reporting from that very spot near the tree, but now we are not able to go there because water is almost around 5 to 5.5 feet there. So you can just imagine the increasing levels of water from that very side. I also request my video journalist Mr. Arpit Seth to show visuals from this side. In fact, till yesterday our cars were parked till this very point, and now the cars have been pushed back just because the water levels have increased to this very spot. So this means that water level at this very spot is increasing drastically, and in fact the police officials had also maintained that when in fact we are making the way to this very spot from the Geeta colony side, the police official maintained that most of the traffic has been diverted from this space, and in fact they say the water level has increased drastically. Though yes, we know that water levels of Yamuna have gone down, but still water levels here at this very point is increasing, and not only at this very space, but in fact if we go to the other side of this very elevated road that lies the Nigam Bodh Ghat or the Yamuna Bazaar area, that is also completely submerged under the water. Though we've been given to understand the water level receded for some time late evening yesterday, but now the water levels have gone up once again. And in fact now, though one thing is that yesterday the current of the water and in fact the flow of the water was very high, now you can see this is the standing water since the water levels of Yamuna have gone down a little bit. So this is not only the Yamuna water but also the sewage water, and in fact the water which has come from the drainage systems over here. In fact, if we go to this side of the of this very road, this road is also completely submerged underwater. Yesterday till that very point, approximately from 100 meters from here, we were able to actually see the road, but today this entire area is submerged underwater. And in fact, where I'm standing right now, here only the water is knee deep, but yesterday the water at this point was almost just to my ankle. So you can just imagine, if we compare yesterday's scene to yesterday's scene from today, that how the levels of water has increased. And in fact there has been alert which has been sounded for many areas, and in fact today we could expect some rains in the in Delhi as well, because what the IMD had maintained that today, after the breather of couple of days, which was 13th and 12th, now today is the 14th, and today we could expect some rains in the area. In fact, not only that, yesterday from this very spot a lot of visuals went viral of the animals also getting affected. In fact, a lot of stray dogs were rescued from this very spot, and now a lot of animal life is also being affected. Interestingly, we have to understand one more thing, that if the water level of Yamuna rises once again, and in fact if it rains also in the national capital, then it will be a double whammy for the people of the national capital, because this particular road is, as you can see, this is just filled with water, and now this water is standing water. Now with this comes the added aftermath of this very flooding which has happened in the national capital, because now this water has started to stink. This is the dirty water now, this is not the flowing water. And in fact the entire area, in fact if we go to, if we can show you the visuals, if we go to that very end point, now the elevated road, the beginning of the elevated road is also starting to submerge under the water. So you can just imagine how worse the situation is getting from this very point. In fact, different advisories and in fact different messages were given to the people to stay inside their homes, and in fact this is the very message we also want to give, that it's better to stay indoors, because the situation in the national capital continues to deteriorate despite the fact that water levels in Yamuna are going down. Now ITO, just imagine if water is coming to the ITO area, this is something to worry about. Yes, that is not the flood water or water directly coming from Yamuna, but that water is coming from from the drain. So it means the drainage system has also completely collapsed, because ITO, if we also look at the Supreme Court area, that is also flooded with water. In fact, this is the Red Fort area, and in fact there is one more nearby area which is called Anguri Bagh. That area is also being badly hit. In fact, there are under vents, they are all flooded with water. The teams are on ground. Yes, they are working, but something to remember is that these are unprecedented times here in the national capital. After almost 4 to 5 decades, we are witnessing something like this. Now, medical arrangements are also made. In fact, at all the spots, the fire station, Delhi police services are there. There are ambulances in case if something untoward happens.